Welcome to Stellaris, a 100% certified family-friendly spacecraft strategy game, and you can trust me on that because I'm British. If you can imagine a sci-fi scenario, then chances are that you can make it a reality in this game. Now, Stellaris is nearly 10 years old, and in that period I've broken the game many times, and yet the developers have continued to do their best to fix the game. Yet every time they update it, I find something new. And today, I'm ready to present my magnum opus. This is the result of me drinking hundreds of cups of tea, an exploit so powerful and broken that the entire game grinds to a crawl as it fails to process the madness that I've created. So get comfortable, hide your kidneys, and let's find out if Stellaris is a perfectly balanced game. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my demonstration of just how broken the brand new update is. Today we're going to be playing as the Elven Enterprises, a mega corporation that has risen to power but unfortunately is dealing with synthetic fertility. Basically, their society used to be great and then a disease started spreading, which means no one is able to reproduce anymore. It's meant to be a very challenging start and not one for the faint of heart. However, as you might be able to tell by the overlapping DLC icons, there's a chance that this has been broken. Now, in order to prove just how scuffed this is, we're going to be playing with the maximum game difficulty enabled. We've also deliberately enabled maximum 25% crisis strength. Now here's the thing, if you at home were playing this game on this difficulty setting with that crisis strength, it's very likely you would be absolutely smashed. However, I am a perfectly balanced British gentleman, and so I shall be showing you the enlightened way of playing this game. So let's throw ourselves in. So welcome to the start of the game. The Elven Enterprises begins with one glorious ruler, the legendary Baron von Neversperm. Like everyone else in his race, he is completely infertile, and as our species ages, they will eventually all die off until absolutely no one is left. That's a pretty bad thing indeed. What you're meant to do is start learning all about robots, because it turns out death isn't actually that bad. Now, every time a little bit of our population dies, it gets uploaded into the identity repository. It stores all of the memories and personalities of the people who used to live on this planet, and eventually we will be able to funnel those personalities inside of an artificial workforce, which of course we're going to be messing with today. However, as I mentioned, the developers have basically fully reworked this entire game, and one of the main things they've done is adjusted the population system. It used to be the case that instead of starting with, over 5,000 population, you would just start with 5 population, and instead of these civilian industries providing 200 artisan jobs, they just provided 2. So basically what the developers have done is they've times everything by 100 to make up for the increase in population size. And this means that a lot of stuff scales very nicely, and this change has worked out fantastically. However, there's just a few minor problems, namely an absolutely hilarious exploit that we're going to be cheesing today. But in order to reach that point, we've got a little bit of work ahead of us. Now, as we cross our first year into the game, our population is in a free fall. We're down to just 3,700 people left alive, but the good news is when people die, we do get some advantages. Their bodies are uploaded into the identity repository, where they spend all of their time working out how to do science stuff. Now that's pretty useful for us because it's catapulted our science up to a very healthy 200. And whilst that would be good in a normal game, we are playing on the hardest difficulty, where the AI cheats harder than a Minecraft speedrunner. For the AI, they research faster, fight harder, and build bigger than a player can even dream of. Luckily for me, I like to break games, so I'll be bringing my own version of balance and difficulty to this unfair engagement. Now thankfully, we're about to research our artificial workforce. This is great as it immediately builds us a robot assembly plant. This is a very fancy and fun piece of technology, because what it does is it allows us to build brand new robot pops instead. Yes, our aging population is dying off, but why replace them with biological elves when instead we can just use robo-workers? And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. However, as I mentioned, the developers made some weird changes to the game recently by scaling all of the population up by 100%. This left behind a very interesting caveat. You see, the identity repository, once you unlocked robot workers, was meant to improve those robot workers. For each population you had alive at the start of the game, they would of course be uploaded into the identity repository and give you a nice little increased job efficiency to your workers. The issue is we now have thousands more population than we actually had in the previous update. So instead of having 3 identities inside of this repository, we have 3,658. And the developers decided it would be a good idea to give each of the populations stored in here a a plus 1% flat job efficiency bonus to everything on the bloody planet. So what does that mean in layman's terms? Well, it means our entire economy just got supercharged. Every single job on the planet is currently receiving a plus 3,658% boost to its efficiency. This means that our normally relatively pathetic physicists are now outputting 550 science. Previously, they were only outputting 10, and the main reason they're doing this is because their workforce is being multiplied by job efficiency. It does come with a few downsides. Namely, our planet has now turned into a hungry hippo that wants to consume 566 minerals per day. That's a lot of minerals, and we have no way of mining them. But remember, every single job is improved with efficiency, including one of my favorites, the roboticists. Yes, they're working at a massively improved efficiency, which means that we can build robots at insane speeds. It's fantastic. Immediately, our science is of course going to yeet up into the stratosphere as we go from researching at a rate of 294 per month to 1,000 science per month. We are less than 2 years into the game. This should not be possible. Now this is where I can very confidently say the game is going to be completely broken. Oh dear, we now have 11,000 Unity lying around. Yep, we're running into a slight problem in that we are generating resources at an astounding rate. So before we've even fully surveyed any of our neighboring systems, we currently have an absurdly powerful economy, one that we definitely shouldn't have access to. Instead of these technologies taking me the 18 months they probably should, we're getting them in just 2. And it's all thanks to those wonderful developers forgetting to do a proper calculation of the amount of population differences we now have. Anyway, our elven population has almost entirely died out, but luckily the robot workers are here to replace them, and they're doing a fantastic job. Anyway, 2.5 years into the game, we've managed to complete 2 full Unity traditions. This is definitely not something we should be able to do, but hey, you can't stop me, game. And as we've now finally researched synthetic administration, we can now pick up our next Unity tradition. And it's a special one, because yes, 3 years into the game, we've unlocked synthetics. This allows us to start the dawn of the synthetic age. It's an absurdly useful tree that's going to allow us to do something very special indeed. Instead of dying, we're now able to convert ourselves into synthetic beings. And as the elves die off and they're uploaded into the identity repository, we're then able to spit them right back out as brand new elf mutatis specialists. Yes, these are brand new, and they're fantastic, for it's going to allow us to do some very silly things indeed. And so here we have it, almost 4 years into the game, and we've completed the entirety of the synthetic dawn event chain. This gives our species a new fancy trait, and it gives us the ability to actually modify them to be even better, which is exactly what we're going to do. Now, the final biological remnants of our civilization have died off, and they've been replaced by these wonderful robot versions of ourselves. The problem is, thanks to our insane job efficiency, we can pump these bad boys out at a ridiculous rate, and that means that our population that was previously at 0 is now rapidly climbing back up to where we should be in order to match the AI. The main issue is that these are not average people. These are insanely broken people with insane job efficiencies. Now, in total, 5,126 identities were uploaded inside of the identity repository, meaning everything we build on this planet will receive a 5,126% boost to its output, a number that we can all agree is perfectly balanced. Anyway, it's time to make things even more broken by making our new robo-elves. We can actually modify these people using robo-mods. So we're going to make our robo-elves high maintenance because, well, that sounds very elven, and then we're going to give them adaptive frames, so that way they naturally evolve to their workplace to make them even more efficient. And with that, we can spend 1 month converting our entire capital system into this more efficient version of ourselves. Perfect. And so there we go, less than 5 years into the game, we've completed the entirety of the synthetics tree, meaning we can mod our robots even more. I mean, why not? Why should we do that? Now here's the thing, we're already up to 4,000 research per month, which is absurdly high, but it's not even as high as it can go, for we can build yet another research lab in our capital. And because our game is completely screwed because of our resource generation, it means that the events that the game is giving us are also completely screwed. For example, when you settle your first colony, you're meant to get a reward based off of the ethics of your empire. In our case, our materialist ethics allows us to gain some extra science, but it scales off of the amount of physics we generate per month, meaning we get 16,000 science off of settling this planet. Thanks for the free technology of Hyperdrive 2. We're only 5 years in the game and we already have the second hyperdrive. That seems fair to me. What could go wrong? Oh, we're researching Dyson swarms in 2 months' time. Oh, this game is going to be broken. Now, of course, our current economy economy is a little bit busted. After all, we gain 3,000 food per month, which means we can't even store all of it. It's the same when it comes to pretty much everything. I mean, we've maxed out our trade goods. There is just nothing we can spend all of our resources on. And I mean, because we have so many resources lying around, we might as well just build ourselves a Dyson swarm array just in our capital system. Why not? There's just no reason why I shouldn't be doing silly Bond villain stuff. And then how about we modify ourselves even more to make us mass produced so we can be built faster? And then we can become double jointed. Fantastic. Look, the robo-elves are even better than ever. And we can apply this template to our entire empire in just 1 month. There we go. Lovely. The elves are truly fantastic. Okay, and we have yet another ascension point to pick. This is madness. This is complete madness. Yeah, I mean, what do we even spend points on? There's nothing beneficial here. Oh, let's go for Archaeo Engineers. This will give us the ability to steal fallen empire technology. Why not? Oh dear, on our capital planet, we've discovered a building we probably shouldn't have got. It's the Faculty of Archaeo Studies. It's a building that normally isn't meant to be anything too special. However, in our case, it's going to be slightly broken. This bad boy gives you a very large amount of biologists. However, it also generates minor artifacts based off of how many biologists you have, meaning we will be generating 3,000 minor artifacts per month. We currently have 110. Yeah, that's definitely not intended, but hey, none of this is. Oh my goodness, exciting times are upon us. Yes, you've joined us into the 12th year of the game, and we've discovered our first alien civilization. Yes, to our north is some beautiful alien scum. Yes, we should always assume the worst. They are a spacefaring civilization, and they don't particularly like us at all. So yes, we can see the Urzo Union to our north. They have one planet, let's find it here. Urzoria, yes, this is their capital. It has 6,200 population on it. Our capital has 41,000 people living on it because we're printing them out faster than the speed of light. Also, when it comes to our technologies, we are generating 34,000 research per month, which is very good indeed. Also, on our capital planet, you'll now notice we're also producing basically every single rare resource in the game. Thanks to the ancient refinery here, we generate everything we could possibly need, and it's impossible for us to go bankrupt. Now, one thing that I would like to do is say hi to the lovely Urzo Union here. We can kind of tell already that they're weak and pitiful. The reason I can tell that is because despite the fact that they're a cheating maximum difficulty AI, I am God in this universe. If we go into the situation log and check the victory settings, we are currently ranked 1 out of this universe. Being ranked 1 means that we're actually higher rated in this galaxy than the fallen empires, and we are 13 years into the game. You're not exactly meant to overtake them until you're about 100 years in, but hey, life finds a way. Now, our capital planet is absolutely insane. It gobbles up resources at a ridiculous rate, but most importantly, it spits out an astonishing amount of research. Now, we've reached the point where we're basically just getting infinite amounts of repeatable technologies. This is just because our technology is so high that we're actually running out of things to research. It's a brilliant problem to have. Right, so now that we're 18 years into the game, if we check the situation log, yes, we are currently in the lead. Second place goes to this fallen empire over here, who has roughly half the score that we do. And of course, their fleet is still massively more powerful than ours, but their economy is pathetic. Look at you, you pathetic little floaty boy. Now, of course, everything getting increased by thousands of a percent is very useful. For example, my lovely stronghold here, which usually just gives you +6 naval capacity, is getting multiplied by even more, meaning we can now have a mega fleet. Also, our little side colony of Kaz Prime is now producing all of the energy, minerals, and food that we will ever need. Anyway, we have a massive fleet and we're massively technologically advanced, so you know what that means. We're going to take a leaf out of the British Empire's book and go and make a vassal state out of someone, and we're just going to send in our massive fleet. Their capital system doesn't even have any defensive armies, so yes, I get the feeling this war is going to be quite easy indeed. Anyway, here comes my fleet, there goes the enemy starbase, this system is now ours, onwards to the capital. So here we have it, their home capital system with all of the might of their entire space empire, which consists of this tiny starbase that has just been blown up. So yeah, that was rather easy. I guess now we just land our army on top of their capital planet, and eventually they'll panic enough to just fully surrender. Right, we send in the dropships and it's an immediate success. Yeah, these guys are pathetic. I don't know what to say. They're just so terrible. Look, here's their military fleet. It's like 6 ships. That's all they have. They don't even have jump drive technology. How pathetic. So yep, we blow up their fleet nearly instantly, then we blow up their starbase, and then we just move on to the next one. Let's land in the invasion army. Once again, yep, they have no defenses in any of their systems, meaning they're just free invasions. Okay, I think we've finally done it. We've taken every single system bar 2 from this AI, and now they are maybe, just maybe, able to conceive accepting peace here. There we go, finally. Right, so with the first subject added to our empire, it's immediately off to the next one. Let's go, huzzah! I mean, look, they're not very impressive AI empires, but the more we have under our belt, the better.
6.5 hours later.
Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're 31 years into the game, and we've discovered some new AI friends. Over to our left, we have the Numerian Confederation. They're, of course, pathetic in every regard compared to us. To the right, we have a machine empire that is also pathetic in every way. Then the Union of Riri, which, you guessed it, pathetic. And then to the north, we've actually discovered our own people. That's right, look, they look like us. Or at least what we used to look like before we became robots. So I mean, of course we've got to go up north and murder them all. Sorry, I mean bring them into the fold. Anyway, speaking of murder, I've decided we might as well start cheesing the game a bit. One of the best ways to do that is to collect relics. Relics are incredible items. They have various cooldowns but brilliant effects. And to the left of us we have a nightmarish wonder, the scavenger bot. It's quite a powerful boy, and even though we're playing on the hardest difficulty, we have a lot of ships thanks to our infinite economy. So we're going to fly on in here and blow up the scavenger bot. And because we're playing as a super special empire who knows how to work synthetics, we might be able to get something even more powerful from him. Here it is, it's the scavenger. Let's say hi with our insanely big fleet. So yeah, we just fly on in, basically just evaporated shields. We've done insane amounts of damage and it has done nothing. My goodness, we lost a grand total of 2 ships. Yeah. This is the hardest difficulty of the game. Oh dear, what have I done? Anyway, we're going to now analyze its remains, which will be very fun. We get a bunch of cool technology from that. And on our capital planet, we're starting to dismember the body of the scavenger bot, which is very exciting. We can probably get some cool bonuses from it. I mean, I say that as if I don't know. Yes, we can definitely get some very cool bonuses from it, and they're oh so overpowered. Anyway, seeing as we're in the area, we're going to also swing into the Kroll sovereignty and subjugate them, because we might as well. So we're just going to fly on up to their capital planet and then land our little invasion fleet. Now our research is currently spiraling out of control. I mean, we're getting 131,000 research per month. A lot of this is coming down to our broken factional system. For example, the Committee of Scientific Ascendancy here is producing us 40,000 physics per month. That is insane. None of the empires around us will be even making 1,000. And yet here we are, unstoppable. And over here is something very exciting. It's an ether drake, another massive leviathan for us to murder. Isn't that glorious? Right, we're back, and after years of planning, I have finally built the ecumenopolis. Yes, that's right, our entire planet has been encased so that it becomes one living city. Imagine Coruscant from Star Wars. That's basically exactly what we've done. It's just an insane city. Now here's the thing, our planet is just insanely ridiculous. It is so powerful and it is unstoppable. And best of all, it's just going to keep on growing. Every month we build 438 new population, and each population endlessly increases the output of this city. One funny side effect is that one of my vassals here, the Quiptelium Manufacturing Co., decided to build a corporate holding inside of our capital city. They also get the job efficiency bonus that we do, meaning now they're also getting to sample what it's like to be a god. This has taken them from being last place on the victory screen to now being in 5th spot, which puts them just behind the fallen empires. We, however, have a score of 300,000. I have 3 fleets, each of which have around about 40,000 fleet power. This bad boy over here can go to war with the Union of Rihi, whose entire military might can be seen right here, and all 52 of their ships would be defeated by a single one of mine. This is just how broken we've now become. Now I've currently got my fleets heading over to the Zoldar system for the purpose of fighting the massive ether drake, because if we kill it, we get a relic. Is the relic particularly useful for us? No, but I don't care. I want it anyway. At the same time, I think we're ready for some more war. So yes, I'm going to declare war on the Union of Rihi. We're going to make you a lovely subsidiary. Huzzah, it's great and fantastic. The Galactic community has been formed. Oh, this is a great day for the galaxy. So with the Galactic community formed, everyone is now able to vote diplomatically on things. Now they can vote for and against things based off of their diplomatic power. If we take a look at the community, we have a power of 84,000, which is more than everyone else combined. this is going to let me do some pretty cheeky things. And so the first idea has been brought to the table by the Newton Empire. They think every time we kill a beautiful natural space whale, it should be considered a breach of galactic law. I'm going to say no. Alright, and there we go. After yet another conquest, we've grabbed ourselves our fourth little vassal. We now have the Kroll Sovereign, the Urzo Union, the Quiptelian Manufacturing, and the Union of Riri. Anyway, we're only 40 years into the game, and we're basically already God. At some point soon, one of these marauding pirate factions is likely to wake up and decide that they want to become Space Genghis Khan. This might seem like a bad thing for everyone living in the galaxy, but for people like myself who basically can't die, it's actually good. Now, because we are so far ahead when it comes to technology, we can actually already see the endgame crisis before it's even begun. Over here is the Ultima Vigilis sector, which is absolutely rammed with the Eternal Watchers. This is basically the AI crisis that can end up spawning in, and technically speaking, we can go and defeat them before they can actually fight back. In order to do it, all we need to do is move one of our own fleets nearby and use a jump drive to just throw ourselves into their system. Very smart and cheeky indeed. However, instead, I've decided we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to end the galaxy using the glorious Galactic Nemesis crisis. Yes, it's nothing too fancy, but hey, it lets us blow up everything. So huzzah, we have now become a galactic crisis. The way this works is rather simple. We get menace points for each evil actions we do. Each of our vassals give us 10 menace points per year. Going against the law and committing crimes gives you 70 menace points. Anyway, we need 1,000 menace points before we can unlock crisis level 2. So let's do that. I'm going to first propose subjugation of some random AIs nearby. Fantastic, that's a new empire brought into the fold. Anyone else wants to be vassalized? How about you? Can I propose subjugation to you? Yes, I can. I just need more influence. Fantastic. Alright, let me find another AI faction to vassalize. Oh, we've got the Huskaran world over here. And there we go. They've decided to become a vassal of ours. Lovely. So there we go. If we now look at the galaxy, all of these empires are ours to control. But why stop there? The only thing holding us back is more influence, which we can get more of by growing our navy even larger, but our navy is already kind of huge and it's ever so slightly lagging the game. Oh dear, oh dear. So we already have 200 menace, which is very nice. We get 100 menace every time we vassalize someone, so that's pretty cool. So yes, the only thing holding me back from colonizing the entire galaxy is influence, but luckily the more people we convince to get vassalized, the more incredible influence we get. Our science research is now achieving astronomical levels of silliness. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, we're up to almost 1 million science per month. 1 million science per month. Oh god, this is so stupid. I mean, I understand that the game's UI is breaking down because it doesn't know how to deal with its population. We have achieved negative 160,000 housing, a positive 11 million amenities, and surprisingly next to no unemployment. So that's a good thing. So one of the interesting things I guess we can do is we can activate every single edict simultaneously because there is no negative at all. After all, we generate near infinite amounts of unity. So yes, let's activate an extra 20% science. Let's increase our home territory fire rate by 40%. Make everyone love our government. Why not? The sky's the limit. Right, so with even more influence lying around, let's propose subjugation to another AI. I mean, they're just guaranteed to accept them because of the sheer relative power we have being a flat plus 750. So there we go, that's another empire brought into the fold. Okay, right, I've successfully vassalized everything that I can get my hands on, which is fantastic, and the energy credits just keep on rolling in. There is genuinely no stopping them. And fantastic, we've unlocked our next level of the crisis. We are now Legion. Yes, this is the way. We've got some new perks and the special project of the Unseen Ripples, whatever that means. How fun. Oh, and we can now actually also build a new type of ship, the Menacing Corvette. They are incredibly quick to build, which is very nice. And now that I've unlocked them, I'm going to build an insane quantity of them. Yep, for just 50,000 minerals, which, you know, of course we have lying around, we're going to build an entire army of menacing corvettes. Now, because we have ourselves a mega shipyard here, we can pump them out at a ridiculous pace. Wabam, there's some more. Oh dear, oh dear. And with this, our fleet is just going to infinitely grow with more power. There we go. So as we could always declare war on the fallen empire that we border. Okay, so we have basically manufactured a fleet out of thin air, which does lag the game game, yes, but hey, it takes us next to no time to create a fleet that is more powerful than most of the fallen empires. Okay, we have successfully fully built out our capital planet. There is not a single space left on it, and it is massive. This planet is insane. It produces basically every single resource imaginable other than minerals, which it consumes 11,000 of, which is quite a ridiculous amount, yeah. So yes, I'm just building brand new fleets out of thin air, and I'm not even giving them generals, and they have one purpose. We're going to go over here and kill the endgame crisis and become the new one. Yes, the game hasn't even progressed enough time for the endgame to even begin, let alone the mid-game, but that's not gonna stop me from being evil. Again, there we go. The mega shipyard we constructed is now fully online. Fantastic. Look at this bad boy. It can build 20 ships simultaneously at an incredible speed. Menacing corvettes now take only 12 days to build rather than the base 30. Now you're built, let's go into Fleet Manager and build 280 more menacing corvettes. Perfect. And the mega shipyard will build it all. Get pumping out those corvettes. Oh, fantastic, we can now build menacing destroyers. Yes, this is some exciting brand new news as we've achieved crisis level 3. This also gives us another flat plus 50% ship build speed, because that's exactly what we needed. Oh, and menacing corvettes are now incredibly hard to kill. Oh, and that fleet that we constructed just a few weeks ago, well, it's ready and it's 126,000 fleet strength. Perfect. Oh my goodness. And we got ourselves a baby dragon as well. Isn't that cute? Oh, look at that. Unfortunately, he's kind of pathetic when it comes to fighting, but hey, he's cute, and so we'll keep him around as we murder everyone. Speaking of which, our fleets have almost arrived next to Ultima Vigilis, where we'll begin a phase jump into the space, and then of course proceed to cause an absolute kerfuffle. Oh, hang on a second, we've got an error happening here. Oh, our empire is actually running out of resources. Yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing a message like this. Our stockpile of the following resources is about to run out: physics research and engineering research. Now, if someone can explain to me how it's possible to run out of science, then I would like to know. And this appears to be down to the fact that we are generating negative science. How have we managed that? Well, it appears the game has no idea what is going on anymore, so we're now undoing scientific advancements. Right, the game is really lagging now as well. I think we're ready to jump into the Ultima Vigilis sector, so in we go. Huzzah! All of our ships have arrived, and my goodness, it's a lot of ships. The game doesn't really know how to layer them all together, but hey, it's time to fight. Look at that big ships firing their big guns. And come on, get a little bit closer. Fire your shots. Blow up these things. Lovely stuff. There we go. Now the combat can begin. Our menacing corvettes are here to menace around, I guess. And oh, would you look at that? Their ships appear to be failing. No, oh dear, they're losing as we do insane amounts of damage. Ooh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, they've only got a couple of titans left, and even they appear to have melted completely. Huzzah! Victory! We did it. We definitely shouldn't have access to this system, but we do, and the game can't stop me. Now we're going to reach on out to the magical shroud and let them know that, hey, we'd like to blow up the galaxy, and of course, you know, they're kind of really cool with that, so they're actually going to give us some fuel from the other world, because they think it would be really neat if they actually supported us, and what that basically involves is potentially giving us a ship that can devour stars. Isn't that fun? Now if we take a look at the Fallen Empire in comparison to us, yes, they are completely pathetic. Oh dear, you foolish, foolish fools. Look at your pitiful fleets. Oh my goodness, we just got a random bit of technology that gives us the robot manufacturing nexus. Okay, right, we're popping it straight into our capital planet. So this gives us even more people who can assemble robots, which is great. We currently get 580 new population per month, which is far more than the game's able to comprehend. I mean, there's now 320,000 people on our capital. Okay, it has been built. Oh my goodness, and it can be upgraded to give even more jobs. Sure, let's do it. What's the worst that could happen? So now we're producing 777 population per month. I don't think the game's going to be able to comprehend this amount of people. Not that we particularly have to worry about how long this is going to last for. I mean, after all, we are going to be blowing up the galaxy very soon. A lot of that is down to the fact that we're just murdering the wildlife, because each little bit of beautiful nature we kill, we get more menace points. surveillance. Yes, because I guess we're a menace of society. Okay, we found 2 more beautiful bits of nature to murder. This psionic entity over here that's a shroud monster, and this beautiful space whale matriarch. Yep, we can murder both of them, and I'm sure that will do good things for our empire. Okay, huzzah! We completed our event chain, which means we've basically managed to defeat the endgame crisis before it's actually began, which is great because now we can make them a vassal. Isn't that lovely? Hello there, repurposed surveillance network. It's a pleasure to vassalize you. They're fantastic. What's this? The fallen empire wants war again. Okay, no, we aren't going to accept your war. No, thank you. So that means they want to punish us, but I'm sure you can probably work out how that's going to go down. We're going to build one single menacing corvette in our mega shipyard. Then we're going to say, hello there, Mr. Menacing Corvette. How would you like some friends? In the form of 360 additional menacing corvettes. 360 corvettes, a total of 162,000 fleet power. Does it need to be made? No, but I'm making it anyway, and it's going to be glorious. Alright, so even though I don't have basically any of my fleets in this area, I thought I might as well just go to war anyway for fun, so that's what we're going to do. I've brought up one fleet of just corvettes, and we're going to declare war on the Fallen Empire with the goal of just wiping them out for, you know, the hell of it. So in you go, Mega Fleet. Let's see if we can say hi to these stuffy fools. So in we arrive. I mean, they've got a bunch of really fancy technology, and look, they're shooting back, which will destroy, I'm sure, 1 or 2 of our ships, and we do an insane amount of damage. Their starbase just blew up. Now they've brought in a mega general. Look at this. Their fleet has way more power, almost 100,000 more fleet strength. My goodness. However, will we manage to defeat them? Well, as soon as we start pulling close, we start doing more damage, and we'll take out a few of their ships. It's okay if we don't actually win this first engagement. We don't really need to. But even so, they are now starting to take a lot of damage, and their fleet strength has dropped by quite a lot. I mean, so is ours, but it's okay. We're just flying pathetic, menacing corvettes. They're flying incredibly fancy glory-class escort ships. Yes, I think they're meant to be a little bit more fancy than my cobbled-together pieces of crap. And would you look at that? We managed to win. Oh dear, game. That doesn't seem very good now, does it? Now, of course, we do need to conquer this system as well, and they have a defending garrison army, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately for them, we have Armageddon orbital bombardment now unlocked, which means we don't necessarily need to actually land our armies. Instead, we can just nuke the planet from orbit. Why not? This seems like good fun to me. And here come the Fallen Empire ships once again. They're not too happy with the fact that we've bombed out their planet and murdered a large amount of their civilian population. Yeah, they're a little bit upset about that, but it's a-okay, because we can now land on in and seize the bad boy, after we fight them a bunch, of course. Speaking of which, we could probably do with some more ships, so why don't we build even more menacing corvettes for the heck of it? And there we go, once again, we've defeated yet more of the Fallen Empire, and whilst we did lose a few ships, we can just click the reinforce fleet button, and back to the bombarding we go. Okay, I mean, there's basically nothing left on this planet. We might as well actually invade. There's, like, no civilians. So huzzah, the planet is now ours. Oh, and here we go. We've achieved the prime sovereignty. After all, because we evaporated those pops on that planet, we've gained even more menace. That was literally the final thing we needed to push us over the line to achieving a calamity level 4, meaning that our ships will now do an extra 50% more damage, because that seems fair. Why not? It takes us 1 month to research this. It's kind of a miracle we have positive research anymore. I mean, we actually don't. We have negative research and we have positive research that's magically countering it out. So that's great. The end is nigh. We can now build a new mobile fortress called a Star Eater. Isn't that fun? Oh, we found yet more Fallen Empire fleets. Unfortunately, once again, yep, we just jump on in, blow them up, and continue on our way. Okay, we found their 2 capital planets, and they're absolutely filled with defenders. So that means, unfortunately for them, instead of sending down an invasion force to peacefully occupy, we're going for the Armageddon civilian bombard approach instead. Trust me, it's much more cost-effective in the long run. Again, we have achieved 100% devastation on all of these planets now. There is just the corpses of people piled on top of each other endlessly. That is what we've done to the Fallen Empire. This has not even been a fair fight at all. And there we go. That is the end of the Finnu Remnant Fallen Empire. We have successfully bombarded both of their planets into a complete ruined wasteland. Right, and we finally reached the end of the game. Yes, the Galactic community has now declared that we are the Galactic Crisis, mostly because they've gathered evidence of the fact that, you know, we've vassalized everyone, we've blown everyone up, we've evaporated fallen empires, and we wiped out the endgame crisis before it began. But hey, here we are, now with our highest level of crisis possible. We can now build a special mega structure. Yes, we can now build it around our capital, which is wonderful. I mean, just look at this huge thing. It looks great. Now, if we have a little bit more dark matter, we're able to build this and just simply win the game. But where do we get dark matter from? Well, we just simply buy it off the open market. Yep, that's what we do. We just simply have to wait 1 month for us to generate 1 million trade, and then we buy even more dark matter, and we rinse and repeat until we have all 20,000. Now, we are technically in the crisis war now, which basically means the entire galaxy completely hates us. However, as you can see, all of these yellow factions are technically our vassals, and so it's only these red ones over here who we're actually at war with. And unfortunately, they're all so far away and so weak that there's nothing they can do. Now, another way we can get some dark matter is by cracking stars. It's quite fun. In order to pull it off, we simply need to move one of our lovely star cracking ships in range of a star and then just crack it open. Yes, it renders the entire solar system completely uninhabitable, but when has that ever been a problem? Not for me. After all, I intend to destroy this galaxy. So here's that lovely yummy little star, and we have this fun murder cube. So murder cube positions himself above, becomes murder spinny pyramid, and lovely stuff. And would you look at that, we're now able to fire off the weapon, and ooh yay, yummy star indeed. It's so tasty. I think we get ourselves 1,000 dark matter. Very nice indeed. It does create a black hole, but that's okay. And so there we go. We now finally have enough dark matter after cracking a few planets to build this doomsday weapon. Of course, it will take 1,800 days, which is quite a while. We can speed it up a little bit by activating another cheeky policy. After all, we have so many of these we can do. Yes, let's get plus 50% megastructure build speed. That brings it down to just 1,400. But anyway, in 1,300 days, all we have to do is wait for this lovely huge engine to be built. So here we are at the end game. There's really not much time left to go now. In just 178 days, the game will come to an end, and whilst the entire united force of the galaxy is against me, unfortunately they're not technologically advanced enough to actually put up a fight. Most of their fleets haven't even reached this side of the galaxy yet. Anyway, back to our capital system where, yep, the big engine is about to be finished in just 13 days. And come on, huzzah, we did it. Hey, that was just the first phase. We need to gather more. What is this? What is this multi-level marketing scam? Gather more dark matter for the big blow up everything machine. Fine, I'll do it, game. Okay, here we have it. Finally, after yet another 1,000 days of waiting for a stupid machine to build, we've got the next, there's another stage. 40,000 dark matter. We're done. There you go. Fully upgrade the megastructure to win the game. I mean, come on. How much more upgrading do you need? Right, anyway, I'm going to be back after yet another, let's see, 1,300 days. Yay! This is gameplay. Okay, here we are. Finally, ladies and gentlemen. In the year 2308, 108 years after this game started, and after I've played far too much Stellaris, we are 14 days away from the end of the galaxy. Come on, let it all end. Huzzah! We stand on the cusp of godhood. The engine is complete, and the vast power of the shroud lies within our grasp. When the engine is activated, the resulting subspace backlash will detonate every single star in the galaxy. All galactic life will be erased. Yes, it's fantastic. So yes, let's do it, whabam! The galaxy is destroyed! Yay! Isn't that great? So we get a large amount of pop-ups, and here's the end of the game. We get the score. We finished the game. We've let me move all of this rubbish out of the way. Wow, is that a score of 3 million? Yes, I believe it is. Perfect. Anyway, this has been Stellaris. It has been completely and utterly broken beyond all reasonable doubt, and I actually finally have the game running at a good speed again. Look at that, it's progressing nicely. This is the galaxy. There were things here previously, a long time ago. We can see here, this is where our capital system was, and everything has been destroyed, along with all life as we know it. Anyway, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I've been the Spiffing Brit, and this has been a perfectly balanced look into the new Stellaris update. Anyway, I've spent far too much of my life playing Stellaris, so yes, you owe me a subscription at least. As always, a massive thank you to each and every one of our amazing YouTube members and channel Patreons. Your continued financial support is greatly appreciated. And hey, if you're sat there wondering what to watch next, look no further than this video on screen now, chosen by me to be perfect for you. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely rest of your day, and goodbye for now.